For more than an hour tonight, a Mechanicville man held police and civilians at bay during a shootout in the heart of the city of Mechanicville. A police officer and a civilian are now dead. It was nearly 90 minutes before police from several agencies were able to capture the sniper, holed up in a three-story apartment house. John McLoughlin has just returned from the scene. John, I understand you have a report for us.
Doug, it was an ugly, incredible scene up there tonight for an hour and a half. The main street of that small city was turned into a deadly shooting gallery about 9:30 last night. People, many of them in Halloween costumes, were entering Joyce's Log Cabin restaurant on Main Street when bullets began raining down on them from across the street. A sniper was holed up in a third-floor apartment in the Kennedy Public Housing Project directly across from the restaurant. The sniper was armed with at least a shotgun and an automatic weapon, and for the next hour and a half, literally hundreds of shots rang out, bursts of automatic fire every few minutes interspersed with shotgun blasts. Mechanicville police got the call that shots were being fired. Patrolman Paul Luther, a 21-year-old rookie who had been on the force only 9 months, was the first to arrive. He was shot dead, a severe head wound. Several civilians were likewise wounded, at least one of them standing about 2 blocks from the scene. Another civilian, 51-year-old John Marsh Jr. of Mechanicville, was shot in the stomach. He was pronounced dead on arrival at Memorial Hospital in Albany. At 10:30, an hour after the shooting began, flames poured out of the apartment where the sniper was holed up. It's believed the fire might have started when police fired a tear gas canister into the apartment. And then 13 minutes later, at 10:43 p.m., police sounded a foghorn. That was the signal that the sniper had been captured. He was identified as Kenyon W. Prine, or Billy Prine, as he is known in Mechanicville. He appeared to be about 30 years old. Police say he lived in the apartment with his wife and 2 children. It's unknown at this hour if the family was with him at the time of the shooting. People who know Prine say he worked in a nearby paint and wallpaper store, and it's reported he was fired from his job 3 weeks ago. While the shooting went on up there, many of the 24 families living in the Kennedy Housing Project were caught in the crossfire. One young woman telling us she hid her baby in the bathtub as the shooting continued. Where the sniper captured, ambulances began to move in to pick up the wounded and injured. The fire department to battle a blaze that now threatened the entire Kennedy project. A second patrolman, John Gonnelly, was crossing Main Street from a nearby police station when he was shot in the face. He was pinned down behind a truck by the fire. Later, he lay in the doorway of a store, unable to be removed, with bullets flying up and down Main Street. Action News is told this morning that he may have lost an eye. The wounded and the injured were lying all over the scene, some hit by the gunfire, some hurt in a siege, some injured in the fire.
Okay, how did you get shot again?
I walked out the door to see what was happening. I heard some people scream. Everybody started running. I ran out the door, and then this guy was just loading shots off. Buckshot. I got hit with it, and I hit the floor. I hit behind 2 cars, and I went in the back door of Joyce's, way down back.
You were coming out of Joyce's Tavern, right?
Coming out to see what happened.
What was the scene like inside Joyce's?
People were hitting the ground, pretty much. They were going pretty well, you know.
That one's it. That's penetrated.
When it was all over, the body of patrolman Paul Luther still lay in the entranceway to Joyce's Log Cabin. Luther was a star basketball player from Mechanicville High, later took the police science course at Hudson Valley. He was unmarried, and he was well known in Mechanicville, where he was the president of a local fire company. Several cars on Main Street were peppered with the shots. The smell of gunpowder still hung over Main Street as police tried to tally the victims and interview witnesses. The toll now, 2 dead, 1 of them a policeman, at least a dozen wounded or injured, 1 of them a policeman, in this most incredible night in the heart of Mechanicville.
John, we've got word in from Leonard Hospital. I understand there are about 9 people over there injured right now. You arrived 30 minutes after it began. You were there for most of it.
Doug, we were standing about 2 blocks away from the apartment, the scene of the shooting, and I moved out into the intersection way, and this is right on Main Street, and somebody yanked me back and said that, well, they pointed to a bullet hole in the State Bank of Albany window. The shots were up and down Main Street. It was just a really ugly, incredible scene.
The mood there, how do they go about capturing this man if we know that at this point? And was it a controlled situation where the crowds held for long? Were they back? Were police able to handle it?
The crowds are very much under control. There was kind of the police afterwards. Mechanicville, the police department, I believe, has about 20 members. It's a small community. Everybody knows one another. They've grown up there. They knew Paul Luther and so on. They were quite upset by it. After all, one of their colleagues has been fatally wounded tonight. Another one has been seriously wounded. And it was kind of an ugly scene, really. I think that's the only word that can describe it.
Late word we have from State Police. The suspect, Billy Prine, is now at the Malta State Police headquarters. He's being questioned by State Police BCI investigators up there. It's not known if there's going to be an arraignment late tonight. The latest word we have, there may be an arraignment either at Judge Morgan Bloodgood's office in the town of Ballston or either in Mechanicville. We don't know that for sure at this point when the arraignment will be. Bob Lawson is up there, and we'll be having more film tomorrow. John, thank you very much for the late report. From Action News, a special report. Again, 2 dead, a police officer and a civilian in a wild shootout late last night in the city of Mechanicville. Mechanicville just trying to return to normal at this time. It'll be quite some time, I'm sure. I'm Doug Myers, and thank you, John McLoughlin. Good morning.